Here we are, we're going to do a video on my Pharaohs Gold tech video. So off the bat, sit down machine, as you can tell. You'd have a chair in front of here and you'd be sitting down playing it. So first test, obviously like always, refill. So you press the start button, you get the info of how much is in the hopper and in each hopper. So 100 in pounds, 25 in tens. These are your volume controls. Up, first one, down. This one tells you the last bank win, and this one tells you the last win position when 40p was won, which in this case, if you land on the gold one, you gave you 40p. There's not much we can do with the doors closed, so we're going to have to open the doors. I'm sure people are probably interested how these machines actually work inside. So clearly you got your hoppers on the bottom, your overflow chutes, coin mech, your reels obviously, and your main board in the back. Same procedure as the other one with the door switches. This one is the Astra tech. It's actually made by Astra. This is the Astra iOS 3 integration, which is ones you find in all of the party time sit down machines, the uprights, and anything made by Astra. That's the board you'll find. There is an older generation board which is it's not called integrated, it's just called the iOS 3, which is it's got a main board with the CPU on a processor card. Sort of like JPM but slightly different. But you can put, they're both backwards compatible, so if your, say, original one dies, you can put an integrated one in, you can put an integrated one in an old one. They made them backwards compatible, which is great from Astra. There's your price key and percentage key, your speaker, your test switches and test buttons, so you got test button and top up. Your hopper door, I'm not going to pull the hoppers out because it'll air it out, but you've got your hopper door and your lower door. And they're all got switches on, so the machine knows what doors are open and closed. So it knows all the doors are open. If you want to tell your machine that your hoppers are full, you turn your key. I'm not going to do it because obviously it's not. You press float top up, you press the start button, you move on to your next hopper, you press float top up. Obviously dump, same thing, you turn the refill key, select which hopper you want to dump, press the dump, which is behind the cash door at the bottom. I'm not going to do it. I can close that one up. To test, just literally press the test button. I like to slide the door to the locked position so it can't reset the tests. So I'm going to turn the refill key to get both door message. Press the test switch. We're now getting the test menu. First one's the most obvious, coin test. So you press start to the coin test. Obviously, if you had a note reader installed, that would now be working. I'm not going to do a coin, I'll show you that, I'm not going to do a coin feed test. But again, you've got the same thing, you can disable the coin mech, or divert the coin mech. I don't need to show you the pounds 10p's because this machine pays out pounds 10 pences. Coins out, again, you select which hopper you want it to dump, select down, I'll do 1 10 pence, and £1. feed out is back box hopper mechanism, which I'll show you in the back in a bit. So you press the first hold, it does the front hopper. You see way down there, that's the first hopper. That's the counting hopper. Now a lot of people think the 10p's that are here, you win. You don't win these 10p's. These 10p's stay in this back unit. Whatever's back here, you don't win. So that was the first one to test that. Press cancel. Here's a 10p top door check. I'm going to shut the top door now because there's nothing else to see in there. That tests that. The seed bed, as it states, when you first power these machines on, because obviously when you move from a location, you have to take all the 10p's out. You have to take all the money out. You'll have no money. So what you do is you don't just throw the money in the front, go, done. I'll show you where you put it in the back. You have to put it in the back, you have to go into test, and you have to seed the bed, and what it does is it will automatically chuck the coins into the top, the correct amount of coins will throw into the top, put themselves on the bed, and that's ready to go. You don't need to do that again. Once it's done it once, that's it, it's set. I'm just going to clear that lower hopper out. Reel 1. So the reels are sync positions. So at the moment it's all lined up on the jackpot, so you can move them along. And obviously, you can line up different wins, so you know if your reels are in line. Pretty much the same on all machines. Lamps. That's testing all lamps, so it's going to flash every lamp on the game. And of course the topper. This light isn't working because I need to get a new LED, so that's on my list of replacements to do. You have a little call attendant light here. That's if the machine errors out for any reason, the call attendant light will flash up. Inputs. So it tests the input. That's the same with all door switches. It will test all the door switches, deal switches. That's what the test is for. Deals, it will say which deal switches are currently active. Again, they have a manual for it, which tells you what those deal switches control. Alpha, which is your screen, so it can do lines across that way, and it can do horizontal. Segment, that's the top segment here, where it tells you your gas run. You can select which mode you want it to display in. So you can make sure each segments work. Meters, you press the button, you make pass, obviously because it only has the 1 meter, again, digital meters. So you can select all meters in the test, I might show that. Audio. So it does the audio test. It's only one channel because there's only one speaker. So you can actually select different volumes you want to hear. This is actually the jackpot tune, I'll let you listen to it fully. That's what you'd hear for the jackpot tune when you win. Keys, this is the percentage key and your prize and stakes key, so it's telling me it's 84%, 10p a go, £5 jackpot. This can do between 5 and 25 jackpot. I am going to change it to 25 as soon as I can, because I don't have the 25 decals, so I'm having to make my own up using this one. So once I've made this decal and this decal up, I want to change it to 25, as it's a bit better play on 25, and it does some more secret things with its features, because there's secret features on 25 that I can show you once I've got it on 25. Bank limit, so you can set this one between only holds 5 or maximum of 25, because it's on only £5 jackpot, so it doesn't need to hold the higher amount. Error logs, no error logs because it's all okay. this is the actual game percentage. Currently it's actually at 84, which means the percentage of the game is 84. So now this machine is ready to pay a jackpot because it's now pushed itself to the top. So when I play it a few times, once it's ready to drop, of course, it means I will win a big streak. On this thing, it can go to a £30-40 streak on £5, but it has to be on the mega drop. It can't be on extra drop or super drop or extra drop. It's got to be on mega drop, which is the yellows. They have to be all in the line. It usually gives you 5 repeats, and then it'll give you a couple of wins, a couple of £5 spins. So you can do pretty well on 5. So this is geared up to win. Usually this would be probably about 70. Once it's finished the streak, it'll go down back to 70, and then it'll start all over again. ID, the game Astra ID. It's just a serial number for the game from Astra. So this is G002. It just stands for the game version. So that way, if you need the game version, you call up, you say, I need the G002 game software. Photo mode, what it means is going to put the jackpots on the reels. It's then just going to advertise the game with all its lamps working. So the idea is, it's just, when you come to sell the machine, you can turn it on, and it'll put all its lights on, and it'll show that the machine fully lit. And of course, pay train on the bottom even lights up too. Obviously, the top box has an indicator for errors and when it's active. So when the green ones are lit, it means the game's running, it's playing okay. If the red one is flashing, it means there's an error reported by the game. And because a lot of arcades don't always have the volume on, that'll flash away and the error code will stay on the screen. And let's say tenant know there's an issue with the game. So that's all the tests in this game. We're at the front. So I'm going to now lock the front. So I'm going to roll it out so we can look at the back. Now I'm rolling it out. It's best when it's on wheels, of course. Just remove some stuff from the back of the game. This is the back of the machine. It has a fan to keep all the motors in the back warm from getting too warm, because there's a lot of motors back here. It's on wheels to make it much easier. We did that when we got it. It was not on wheels, so it's in an arcade. And we put a handle on the door because it makes it easier if it's got something to grab. So this is the bit that let this finish doing its tests here. So this is the bit you usually don't get to see in the back of these machines, obviously, because the operators don't want you to see what's behind here. So you got your tilt switch. So during gameplay, these machines are clever. When you're playing the top box, if you tilt the machine any way at all, that'll avoid all game credits. So what you've won in the top splash feature, when you tilt, if you try to shake it to get more coins off the front, you lose it all. It won't give it to you. It'll drain. You won't get any of that money. And they can be set to be very sensitive or not sensitive. The higher they are, the less sensitive they are, the lower they are, the more sensitive they are. There is another tilt switch in here too, Mercury weighted tilt switch. That is very easily triggered. You only have to give the game, if that's not fitted, you only have to give the game a good bump That one will also go off and do the same thing, avoid all credits. Obviously up, I can't really show you up there, but up at the top where the fan is the obviously the plugs and stuff to run the top light. This is the back light lamp, so this is the light that runs the back box, which lights up your decal on the back. And also controls the top box lamps again. This is the stacker 10-piece shaker chute. This is where those 10p's are. So from the front, it'll fall down that metal front work into this hopper. This hopper then counts up how much you've won and dumps it down this tube, down this tube, down this tube, down this tube, to the 10p float box in the back. So what the 10p float box is designed to do is, as it says, it keeps so many 10p's in here, so when the game wants to use them, it will then start the game. It'll then start spinning the disc at the bottom. That disc will then push the 10p's up there in the stacker unit, which then sends it all the way to the top there, pushes it out and fires it into the gameplay coil. Now these you'll find in the back of your 10p pushers, like your Magic 7s, Cashfall, any of those Pac-Man, any of those type machines where the 10p's are go to the top and then drop from the top. That's the same stacker you'll find. When you empty these, obviously when you empty this back hopper, there's a test to do so, to empty it. It will spin the disc until there's no more 10p in the disc, and then you have to manually put your finger, a lot of people forget, you've got to put your finger there, and you have to push all the coins out. All the coins out, as far as you can get them. There is a manual release for the excess coins that you haven't released. I'm not going to do it because obviously all the 10p will fall over the floor, but there is a manual release so you can dump all the excess coinage. It's been slightly reworked on. When this game came, these were obviously soldered. These wires weren't soldered, and these connectors they were just solid wires, and you had to go all the way inside the machine there to unplug them. So what we did is we put connectors on. So when we want to move the stacker for maintenance or cleaning, we have a plug here and a plug here, and we can take it off and get easy access to the stacker unit. This is your pusher bed. But there's not much more on this machine, so I hope this helps people who are interested in the back of one of these 10p fruit machine pushers, and thanks for watching.